It's live right now. I'm gonna wait till about 10 minutes in. Wait for some people to come in here, and then I'm gonna just go ahead and start. But hey, hello everyone. Welcome to MindCast. My name is Tyler Lewis. I am an entrepreneur, an author, a speaker, a thinker, an inventor, and I'm a multi-purpose individual. And I'm not limited by anything, only by what I limit myself to. So that's who I am for people who don't know me, and people who may come on here and watch me do know me. That is my name. That is who I am. Um, and yeah, this is Mindcast. This is my podcast. This is what I'm gonna be doing lives on every week, one day a week. And yeah, I ain't gonna go all the way in yet. I'm still waiting for some people to come on in here. And then I will get fully started. But yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself, and yeah, I'm ready for this. I'm excited. This podcast is really gonna be really helpful for those that it's targeted for. Not all the information that I'm gonna share on here is for everybody, and not everybody is gonna be able to take the information that I'm sharing. But for those who are ready, for those who who ready, who with the smoke, who with the action, this information, this strategies, this truth I'm gonna be giving you, is for you. So I just wanted to put that out there for the ones, who really ready, who are really not afraid to go the extra mile and take the next step in their life and changing their mind and change the way they think, you know the whole 9 yards. So I'm gonna just continue to wait. I'm gonna wait till like 10 minutes, then I'm gonna just go ahead and start. um about 10 minutes in, I'm gonna go ahead and start. Man, go ahead and wait in here, get some people rolling in, and if nobody comes, that's fine. Shoot, this ain't gonna be just gonna be up for you to watch afterwards. So either way, y'all still gonna get the information. I just want to get feedback, and I can get it afterwards, whatever, but it's the whole point of the live. um yeah, we almost getting to that time. I think I'm about to go ahead and start. um yeah, so going straight into it, I'm gonna just go ahead and go straight into it. This is Mindcast. Just a little overview of what Mindcast is. Mindcast is a podcast for people to learn about the power of their mind and receive strategies and methods to change how they think, speak, and perceive life to a more elevated state. This is the purpose of my podcast called Mindcast. This is the whole purpose for this platform, and what I'm doing this for is to give people strategies and methods on how to change the way they think to change their life. Because for me, I've learned that everything starts in the mind. Everything, literally everything starts in the mind. And when you understand that everything starts in the mind, you understand that your mind is the source of everything that you see outside of yourself. So, what does that mean? That means that you have the power to pretty much materialize, destroy, transform, create, remove anything you would like in this physical world, in this physical plane. So when we talk about the mind and we talk about how powerful it is, it's literally the center of everything. Your mind is the center of everything. You can literally have the life that you want, and it really starts in the mind. Life doesn't start outside of you, it starts within you. So when you understand that everything starts in the mind, then you understand that the life that you want starts in your mind. So this allows you to do some reflecting. This allows you to look at, your life right now, and you can trace it back to how you're thinking. The mind is made up your thoughts, your words, and your perspective. Based on how you think, based on how you speak, and based on how you perceive the world around you, is based on how your life looks. It's based on how the people you choose. It's based on how the decisions you make. Is based on all these different things. It's all connected, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. Is that there's no separation between your mind and reality. There's no separation between your mind and life. They're interconnected, and your mind is the root. So however your root is looking, that's how your fruit and your branches and your leaves is going to look. That's your life. So, but yeah, that's the main point of this whole podcast, is to get you to understand that everything starts in your mind. In your mind. If you want to be happy, it starts in your mind. It doesn't start outside of you. Anything that comes from you and materializes outside of yourself, that's just an amplifier to what's already started in you. Excuse me. You don't become happy by having things. You become happy when you be happy. Being is an existing state. That's what being means. That's why we are called human beings. We are an existing state of something, or we are an existing state of a human. So when you understand that you you can control what existing state you want to be in, then that's how you can control the outcome, or the way you want your life to go. So people who, like, I used to deal with depression. And before I go into that, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. Everything that I'm gonna talk about on here is gonna be truth and real and unapologetic and just cold hard. Like it's gonna be that. Like, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything with you. The stories that I tell on here are gonna be real. They're gonna be true, and there might be some crying. I might cry on here, sometimes, from the stories that I tell, or just coming from a real place, because what I'm telling you is coming from a real place. What I'm telling you is actual truth that you can find anywhere in the world right now. You can look anywhere on the internet, and not even on the internet, but you can look within yourself and see the truth that I'm telling you. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there that this ain't gonna be no, I ain't sugarcoating nothing. Like, I'm keeping it 100% G with all of y'all. So just a disclaimer out there, so you know what to expect from the information that I give you. But going back to what I was saying, I used to deal with depression, and depression, when I look back on it, was a state of being. Excuse me, was a state of being that I was in. And going back to what I was saying, being is an existing state of a thing. When I was depressed, I was in an existing state of depression. Depression is pretty much just low vibration. It just means you're so low to a point to where your self-esteem is low, your imagination is low, your creativity is low, your problem solving skills is low, your attention span is low. Everything is low. Everything, all the characteristics about yourself become low. And when this happens, this is coming from you getting into an existing state of low vibration, of low energy. When I used to be, when I used to have anxiety, and I used to have paranoia because of the things that I was doing. I used to be in the streets, and I'll go into my background um, later on in the video. But I used to be in the streets, and a lot of stuff that we did in the streets could get you killed or it could get you in jail. So because of this, I got into a state of existing in my mind of being paranoid all the time, always worrying, always on edge, always having the hair stick up on my back. Like that was the state of being, the existence I was in. And when I look back on that and I realized that the reason why so many bad stuff, I wouldn't even say bad. I'll say bad for this. Yes, it was bad. So many bad stuff happened in my life was because of how I was thinking, was because of where my mind was, or my existence, the state of my being was. My being was in depression. My being was in anxiety. My being was in the streets. My being was in paranoia. These things, and it came from how I thought. It came from the information that I was giving myself, and then also the perspectives that I was taking on about life that were low vibration, that were low energy, that really didn't translate into the things that I wanted or the things that I desired, where my heart really was. And this happens to a lot of people. I'm not the only one who, been through this similar thing. um a lot of people go through this, like a lot of people go through similar things like other people. Like if somebody says you don't understand me, it just means they don't understand that we're actually all common. We actually all go through the same exact experiences, just in a different form. So sorry. um but yeah, I when I look back on my life, when I look back at everything that I've been through, I when I really dissected it, it traced all the way back. It traced all the way back to the source, which is my mind, how I thought. And a lot of the things I'm gonna be talking about is dealing with the mind, is dealing with, changing the way you think. And the way you do that is you have to acquire new information. Information is not discriminatory. It's not mutually exclusive to one thing. Information, I look at it as energy carrying ideas, which is something that comes from a invisible place and moves into a physical place or a visible place. So, like I said, information is energy that carries ideas from an invisible place into a visible place or a physical place. That's my definition for energy. I mean, that's my definition for information. When I look at it just plain plain as day, like for what it really is. That's really what it is. So going back to information is not mutually exclusive to one thing. I mean, what I mean by that is information information is on the spectrum. You have, in the spectrum is, we can use this. I'm gonna use this example. The spectrum is good and bad, or bad to good, or low to high. Now I'm gonna use this spectrum for example. So a lot of the information that we are fed today in our society is information about sex, drugs, violence, war, and this is being pipelined through the media, the news, um, a whole lot of other different outlets. But those are the two big ones right now that this type of information is being pipelined. And on the spectrum scale of information, this is really on the low scale. This is on the bad scale. And when you understand the anatomy of your being, or the anatomy of who you are, and the anatomy of your mind, I'm about to go deep, y'all. I'm trying my hardest not to give y'all too much or just go in all the way. This is just me starting. I'm just talking right now. I'm just sharing some information with y'all. Just the overarching, like what MindCast is gonna be about. Like this is what we're gonna be talking about. But I'm just trying to make sure I'm not going too crazy, because a lot of this information, like I said, is it's like feeding meat to a baby, and I don't want to do that. But I'm gonna stop right there. I'm not gonna go. Just forget what I was about to say. because what I was about to say was gonna be it was gonna be out there. I was finna take y'all all the way out there. But right now I just want to say the Mindcast lives. I'm gonna go into the dates now, like when I'm gonna be doing Mindcast lives and everything like that. Um, I'm gonna be doing lives every week, 1 day a week. And if y'all are really like digging the information and like you really are fiending for more, I'll do 2 days a week. But it's all dependent on y'all. So because I can go for days, I can do every single day for real, for real. But that's unpractical. But yeah, so I'll be streaming, going live every week, 1 day a week. And the days that I will always be going live is Friday. I'll be going live every Friday. And the schedule might change because I have to do stuff. I'm an entrepreneur. I got places to go. I'm also the leading ambassador for an organization called Black Wall Street Junior, and I'm also a member of Black Wall Street ABL, which is in Asheville, North Carolina. But I have a lot of other stuff to do, um, so the schedule might change. It might not always be consistent, and but don't worry, the live is gonna come that week. Um, so yeah, that's for the schedule. That's what's gonna be happening. Sorry, y'all, my throat. Good day. I don't know what's going on. The I don't know what's in the air, but yeah, that's what will be happening every week. Is the live? I'll be going live every week. Um, what else? What else do I want to share with y'all? Oh yeah. So the first like 64 lives that I do is going to be all centered around my book. Let me go into my book real fast. My book is called Word to Self. I think I said it early on in the live or early on in the recording. But I'm gonna just say it again here. Oh Lord, get me through this. So my book is called Word to Self. And Word to Self is powerful statements to help reshape how you think about yourself in life using affirmations. So affirmations, like I was just telling y'all, is information. And these affirmations are on the spectrum scale of high vibrational or high energy or good. So, yeah. So it's positive affirmations to help reshape how you think about yourself in life. Because I always say, like I was saying on here, everything starts in the mind. Everything. There's nothing that you see on the earth right now created by man that didn't come from somebody's mind. It came from somebody's mind. And just think about that. Like just sit in the fact that the pyramids, for example, these ancient structures, for example, came from an individual's mind. Like just sit and think about that real fast. Like this came from an individual's mind. Like just soak in that for like 30 seconds. I just want you to soak in that for like 30 seconds. The fact that everything that we see right now came from somebody's mind or a group of people's minds. Like just soak in that truth. That is evident. That's like a beach ball you're trying to push. You can't deny that. And so knowing that fact that everything starts in the mind, my book is designed with the affirmations to help you and to take you from one way of thinking to another way of thinking. So however you are thinking right now, you can go higher. However you are speaking right now, you can speak higher. However you are perceiving and looking at the world right now, you can look higher. You can look farther. And this is what my book does. My book is literally going to take you from one way of thinking to another way of thinking. And it starts with self-communication. And that's just talking to yourself, saying I am, saying I can. People don't know, but the word I am means to come to pass. If you look at it in an Afro-Asiatic language called Hebrew, if you look at the word I am, it means to come to pass. So when you say I am, I'm gonna just use a negative example for this example. If you say I am not cute, what you are literally saying is coming to pass me not being cute. Or to come to pass that I am not cute. That's literally what you're saying when you say I am something. So a lot of the affirmations in my book start with I am. It starts with you saying to yourself, you are this idea or this information or this idea, which is a state of existence. So when you say, like, I'm gonna say this, one of the affirmations in my book is called it says I am necessary. When I'm saying this, when I say this to myself daily, everything I put in my book, Word to Self, literally I say it to myself all the time. Like, no games. I say it to myself all the time. I said actually one of the affirmations in introducing myself at the beginning of the live. So when I say I am necessary, I'm saying to come to pass, I am necessary, or to come to pass my necessity or my prevalence, my need to be here. That's what I'm saying when I say that to myself. I'm saying that to come to pass, I am prevalent, or to come to pass my prevalence or my necessity on this planet. So when you say anything out your mouth, when it comes to the two words saying I am, you want to make sure you connect that. You want to make sure you connect that positive to another positive and not a negative, because they don't mix. And that's a whole nother thing I can go into, how the positive and negative and how that's all mixed. I can go into that. That's a whole nother live. But you want to take, actually, hold on, let me back up. I am is not mutually exclusive to either positive or negative. It's what I like to look at as a binder. It's the thing that binds the negative, or it's the thing that binds the positive and makes the whole thing that you're saying, or the whole idea, or the whole information or statement that you're saying, it binds it to make it the rest. So you got I am, and then you got I am necessary. The necessary part is the positive part. When these two things come together, it's just a whole positive thing. But that's confusing. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, that's the whole point of my book. The whole point of my book is to take you from one way of thinking to another way of thinking. That's it. And it's really more than a book. It's a lifestyle. It's a whole mindset. Word to self is a mindset. It's really not a book. It's a lifestyle and a mindset. That's what my book is. And it works. I'm living proof of it. If you follow me on Instagram at Tyler_2K, you will see a picture of me back then and me now. And this came from me changing my mind. So I know it works. I know what I'm talking about works. Because I'm living proof. I'm literally the product of what I've learned, of what I have acquired. I am living proof that this works. That your mind literally is the center of how you want your life to be. And let me go into that. You can have the life that you want. Let me say that again. You can have the life that you want. Like, no games. Like, regardless of the circumstance that you're in, regardless of the things that you've done, regardless of where you are right now in life, regardless of any outside force. I'm talking about the inside, which affects the outside. You right now, on the other side of the screen, you can have the life that you want. Don't believe me? I'm having the life that I want. I'm moving towards, going back to that word, I'm moving towards the life that I have already imagined and envisioned in my brain of me having. I am going to have the life that I want. And I'll share that with y'all in the later live. My vision for my life. Where I see and what I've been shown is gonna come from my life. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in my throat. This ain't hurt. But you can have the life that you want. People think it takes money and all this other stuff. When I decided to change my life, that's all it took. All it took was a decision. It took a decision. Don't believe me? I can make the decision right now to take my car and drive it into some people. That is going to, if I make that decision, my whole life right now would change. Now let's go to the positive. I can make the decision right now to stop this live. Or I can make the decision right now to do lives for as long as I live. That decision is going to change my life. So what I'm saying is that whatever decision you make alters your life, whether it's a small decision or a big decision. And for example, for me, a big decision that I made that changed my life, and the reason why I'm here today, the reason why I'm doing this, the reason why I know what I know now, is when I said, all right, this is not the life that I want. I'm tired of selling drugs. I'm tired of, ducking my head of the police. I'm tired of fighting people or getting into altercations with people for really no reason. I'm tired of robbing people. I'm tired of doing these things. So the decision that I made was to cut all of it off, to remove myself from the life that I was in. And this is the secret. If you want to change your life, your first decision, the most important decision you must do, is to remove yourself from everything that is enclosed in the life that you are in now. For example, what I was just saying, the life I used to be in was So I was surrounded by drugs. I was surrounded by, you know, gang members. And I don't really like calling them that. I just call them individuals who didn't know who they were, didn't know what they wanted to do, and who were led by a narrative, by artists and music artists that are pushing a narrative or a way of life into a community of people with low income, in a community with people who have been marginalized, stigmatized, stereotyped, demoralized, and what birthed out of that was the title of gang members. So what I'm saying is the decision starts when you start removing stuff that is not in connection with what you said, which is the life that you want. Lord, y'all, I'm trying. So the decision that if you want to change your life right now, literally all you have to do right now is start removing stuff that is not in connection with the life that you want. And when I started to remove stuff that was not the life that I wanted, I started to move into the life that I wanted. I started to hang around different people. I started to receiving different information. I started to get around groups and get into information and do things that were not in connection with the life I didn't want. And that's how you literally change your life, is by a decision. You have to say enough is enough. I'm removing all of this. You have to you got to be aggressive with it. You have to literally I stopped smoking weed. I stopped, doing pills. I stopped drinking. I stopped doing all these other stuff. I told y'all I'm gonna be transparent and real on here. I'm not telling y'all no lie. This is what I did. And it was because the stuff I was doing was not in connection with the life that I wanted. So the decision, simply put, is you make the decision to remove the stuff out of your life that is in connection with the stuff that you want in life, that isn't in connection with the life that you want. So if you're somebody who smokes weed right now, and you know you want to be a business owner, and you know you want to be around high level individuals who probably and possibly don't do those things, or if you know you want to have a life of being sober and having a clear mind, you know you're not supposed to be smoking no more. You know you need to make the decision to remove smoking out of your life completely. If you are broke, you know you need to stop hanging around people who are also broke. You know you need to get a job. And that's the thing. People know these things. If I didn't know how to change my life, I would still be in the same situation I was in. I would still be in the same life I was in. So when you understand, I'm going to keep saying it. Y'all going to hear me say it every live. When you understand that everything starts in the mind. A decision first starts in the mind before it becomes an action. You can't act something if you haven't thought it yet. You can't have a decision if you first don't have a decision. And you first can't act out or do that decision if you don't have a decision. And decisions start in the mind. You can have an action, but still that action comes from a decision. It's a thing that happens super fast in our minds, in our brains. It's milliseconds. I don't even know how lower in seconds you can get to where it's instantaneous. Me moving my hands is me making a decision. It's just automatic. So understand that everything starts in the mind. And that if your mind is not right, and your mind encapsulates or holds how you make decisions, how you think, how you speak, and how you perceive the world around you. If that is not right, then your life isn't right. I can look at people's lives and know and predict what type of life they will have based on how they think, how they speak, how they perceive life, and the decisions they make. It don't take a lot for me to know if you're gonna have a successful life or if you're gonna have really the life that you truly desire in your heart, but you're doing the exact opposite. I can see that. I can tell by just looking at a person that, oh yeah, I already know how your life finna be. Every day. That jink look rough. And I can see that jink look rough. Just by those four factors. But these four factors is what determines everything. These four factors is what determine if you do have the life that you want or if you don't. It comes down to you. This all comes down to you. And when you don't want to receive that information, then that keeps you in that continuous lifestyle that you don't want. I'm telling y'all, this is the whole point of this whole podcast I'm doing, is to give you methods and strategies on how to change the way you think. In essence, what I'm saying is how to change your mind so you can change your life. So moving on from all my chatter, I just wanted to share that information with y'all, man. That was just on my heart. There's so much stuff I want to share and say, but this is the intro live. And this is what I'll be talking about. This is some of the information I'll be talking about. I'll be getting into other things as well. But this is just some of the information that I'll be talking about. And it's really dealing with mindset. And it's really dealing with, fundamental truths that are inherent. Like, you are necessary. That is a fundamental truth. And be on the lookout this Friday. I'm gonna send out a whole bunch of reminders on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me, go ahead and follow me on at Tyler _ Lewis 2K. That's my Instagram. And I'll be sending out reminders leading up to this Friday and the live and everything I'll be talking about Friday. And the title of it will be Why You Are Necessary. And I'm gonna be talking about why you are necessary. That's what I'm gonna be talking about. The whole 2 hours on why you are necessary, which is a fundamental truth, which is an inherent truth. You probably don't understand why you are necessary or why you are here. But those are two different things. And that's a later live that I'll be talking about why you're here. And I'm gonna share the schedule on my Instagram as well. Just everything to expect, the different things I'm gonna be talking about. That's why I'm here. I'm here to empower you. Empower. People overlook that word. People think it just means somebody talking and they words just no. When I say that I'm here to empower you, I'm saying I'm here to give you energy. I'm here to give you energy. Energy that has been pressed down, shaken together, that has been folded together. I'm here to give you energy. Not any type of energy, powerful energy. Hence the empowerment. I'm here to give you enhanced energy. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to give you energy. And I'll do a whole nother live on breaking down, the anatomy of human beings, or us as human beings, in the anatomy of our mind. I'll be breaking down the mind and what the mind truly is. And I'll be breaking down energy, and I'm gonna just be going in, y'all. I'm gonna just be giving it to y'all. I'm just be going in. But this is what I was talking about for the past 25 minutes, or really 30 minutes. That is the main point. If you don't get anything else out of this whole entire live that I said, the one thing I want you to get is that that everything starts in the mind. And that that when you come on this live, when you subscribe to my channel, MindCast, that this is what you're going to expect. And this is what you can expect, is that me, Tyler, is going to be telling you about your mind and telling you about truth, or sharing truth with you, and sharing knowledge and methods and strategies on how you can change your life, and information and knowledge to know in life, and principles to know in life, to live by. So when you come on here, that's what I want you to know when you come on here. We don't got no people in here right now, but that's okay. That's okay. I wanna hear if y'all have any questions, or if you have any recommendations or anything that you want me to share or talk about. Just let me know. And this will be posted afterwards. So you can go into the comment sections, and I'll be reading the comment sections. I will reply to you. However big this gets, I'm gonna make sure to reply to everybody. Because another big part of MindCast is I'm here to build community. I'm here to build community with y'all. And the community that I want to build, I wanted to be centered around like-minded individuals. And I want us to help each other and edify each other and sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron. I want us to be able to share information with each other. And if you don't have this, because I'm gonna have a little group chat that and as many, we can have thousands of people on there. Is no limit. But I want to have this group chat. It's on this app called Clubhouse, and it's called MindCast Inner Circle. And I'm gonna put the link actually in the description. Um, and make sure you download Clubhouse if you don't have it. It's actually a really good app. You can go into a lot of chat rooms and talk to a lot of different people about different topics. There's business chat rooms. You can learn about business, anything, really anything. So, but yeah, that's a chat room that I'm gonna be creating, or that's already created. But I'm gonna put the link in the description. And yeah, just make sure you get on there. I want to get as much people on there, and I'm gonna just be going over a little bit more in-depth information that I probably won't talk about here on the live, because you know how YouTube is and all this other stuff is. I'll go into that in the chat room, but yeah, make sure you do that. And yeah, if I'm waiting. I'm ready to see what y'all have to say in the comments, because I know people, they probably working right now or whatever. But if you watch this live afterwards, please please put your recommendations in the comments. Put your questions in the comments. Questions you have about Mindcast, questions you have about me, questions you have about the information I'm gonna share, and then also put your recommendations. What you would like to see better on Mindcast. I don't have the best setup right now. Later on in the future, I will have a whole setup, a whole room. So the lives will be a whole lot more professional. But please just put give me your thoughts. That's all. Give me your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. And be sure to like and share. Share with people you know who are interested in information that I share on here, and who are interested and like to hear this type of information. Because a lot of people shy out and run away from the truth, when the truth is here to set you free. The truth is the only thing that's able to set you free from a lie. The only reason why there's truth is to distinguish it from a lie. And I'll go into truth right now. I'll give y'all some information on truth right now. I got a whole nother hour, so I'm gonna just talk. Truth, like I said, is meant to distinguish the real from the fake. And how do you know if something is true? That's the big question. You know something is true by evidence. And you know a lie by lack of evidence. And usually lies come from lies or twisted truth or facts or opinions, all this other stuff. This comes from a place of lack of evidence. But truth, and that's all that I'm gonna be talking about and giving to y'all. I'm giving y'all straight truth. That's it. I'm not giving nothing else. I may give my opinions on some things, but based on the evidence, the scenely put information, based on that is what I'm be giving y'all. Is based on where my information is going to be pushed. I'm pushing it through the vacuum of truth, or I'm pushing it through the pipe of truth. That's it. I'm only here to give y'all truth. That's it. So truth, how do you know something is true? Is when there's evidence. And when there's more than one source of evidence is what makes a thing true. For example, conspiracy theories. I'm gonna go into this because I like this topic. I don't know why people call them, conspiracy theories or this, that, and the third. Like, how is it conspiracy and it has so much evidence to back up that it's true? That's just something to think about. But for conspiracy theories, for example, a lot of people believe that, I'm not gonna say it, I'm gonna say a lot of people. A lot of people believe that conspiracy theories, some of these conspiracy theories out there are not true and they're a lie. And that would be true. That would make the lie true if there wasn't no evidence. If there wasn't no evidence to support a lot of these conspiracy theories that they are true, that they are real, that these things have happened, that these things are happening. So that's how you know if something is true, is based on evidence. For example, I'm gonna go into God. I believe in there is a creator. I believe there is an architect of this whole thing that we see, this whole world that we see, everything that we see, including our bodies and how sophisticated our bodies are and how sophisticated our minds are. And even the math and the sacred geometry of that's a whole nother different topic. I ain't even gonna go there. But I'm gonna talk about God on how I know God is true. Is because someone had to have created the tree. Why? Why somebody needed to create the tree is because if you actually go back in the genealogy of a tree, you look at a tree, you'll say, okay, where did this tree come from? A seed. All right, where did that other tree come from? A seed. Where did that other tree come from? A seed. Where did that other one come from? 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 And you're gonna go back so far, you're gonna hit a wall. And that wall is God. That wall is somebody put this into being, or somebody put this into the beginning. Somebody started this. I did that. That's how I figured out and found out that there is a God. I did that simple exercise, that simple experiment you can do. Because you can only go far, you can only go back so far until you realize somebody had to have created the tree. Can magical mushrooms enhance your spiritual experience with God? Can magical mushrooms? I don't believe in magical mushrooms. I don't think there's any magical mushrooms. I think we just have mushrooms on the planet. But yes, mushrooms are psychedelics, and psychedelics actually do. Um, they increase your dopamine, and they also uh, they put you in like a hypnosis type of state, like kind of when you high, like you feel lower and your mind is more heightened. um I'll say yes, mushrooms can enhance your spiritual experience with God, but I don't think whatever you see in that spiritual experience, or in that psychedelic experience, or in that like that trippy experience, I don't think you will see, God. I think you will see other type of beings that are on that spiritual spectrum, or that are in that dimension, that mushroom can take you. One thing about mushrooms is mushrooms actually, like everything has a spectrum. Everything has a spectrum. Mushrooms have a spectrum. So there's different type of mushrooms that are on a different type of a scale of spectrum when it comes to like when it comes to like the essence, like the chemical compound that's in the mushroom to enhance, like to make you have a psychedelic experience, or to make you have a spiritual experience. So like the mushrooms that we put on pizza, they're at like the lowest scale of the spectrum scale, like of wanting to have like a spiritual experience like that. So, but then you have like there's this Native American mushroom or something. There's some type of mushroom. I don't know what it's called, but there's if you actually look up all types of mushrooms, and then you would look, and um if you look up mushrooms, if you look up different type of mushrooms and their effects on the human body, or look up which type of mushrooms and like give you a more hyper active psychedelic experience, you'll see a category of different mushrooms. And that's what I'm talking about on the spectrum. There's a spectrum when it comes to that type of stuff. But yeah, I believe, you know, you probably won't have an experience with God, but I believe you'll have experience with, beings. And that's a whole nother thing I'll get into, spiritual beings and dimensions, and, you know, how we are spirit beings, and that's a whole nother thing. But yes, you can, I'll say yes, you can have an experience with God. Why did God put mushrooms on the earth and other natural psychedelics, natural sources? Um, I think he did it for a very specific purpose. And I think that's for healing. Um, a lot of these, like, this is something that, the government doesn't want us to have. That's why they're giving us pills and all this other stuff. But really, before we even had pills or anything like that, we were using plants. We were using herbs. We were using, fruits, berries, mushrooms. So when you really think about, you know, like why the government is wanting me to take these pills, when there's so much evidence and history to prove that plants and herbs and mushrooms, which is a fungi, are for the healing, or that can heal your body. Like there's a plant called the duck fruit plant. It's found in Jamaica, and it's a plant that detoxifies your body. And it's a very aggressive plant. This plant, when you ingest it, it the chemical compounds in it, in the minerals and all the different things that make up this plant, the different bacteria or the different, microorganisms in the plant attack mucus in your body, and attacks every type of mucus. So when that happens, when you ingest it, you people who have taken it, have a really aggressive reaction to it, is because the plant is going after that mucus. And what happens is people end up throwing up a lot. People are pooping a lot. You're sweating a whole bunch. Your nose running a lot. And this is because this plant is, and mucus is what causes disease. Mucus is the source of disease. Any disease or any tumor or any cancer, all this, it all traces back to mucus. So this plant goes in there and literally removes all the mucus from your body. And that's just one example. But going back to your question, I hope that answered your question. But going back to your question, like why God put mushrooms on the earth and other natural psychedelics, I don't think it was to, have like spiritual experiences. I mean, that's definitely, uh, you know, in a way you can use that, but I really think it was for healing. I really believe it was for, other reasons, not to just get high off of, just to, abuse and just get high off of. No, I think it has a really more significant purpose, and that's to heal your body. So I think, yeah, God, God, God put these different, like weed, for example. I used to smoke weed. I have nothing against marijuana, the plant itself. Um, I just have something against the people, the different type of stuff they're doing to marijuana these days. Is like, It's really crazy. You got super strains. You got, I used to do dabs. That's just the THC taken out of the plant, and it's just concentrated. That's THC is what gets you high, or what gets you high. So it's just concentrated THC. So it's pretty much the high in like a brown liquid form. And when you take it, you just get super high. And I don't believe that, these type of plants were used for those different things, just for just pleasure and just to do it. Some people smoke weed, or some people do CBD, or put weed in their food, for health reasons, everything like that. That's what I believe it's used for. But I don't believe it's just to randomly just smoke and think all your problems are gonna go away. No, that's not the reason or the purpose for it. That's just abusing what God put here for. Um, but yeah, that's my say on that. I hope that made sense, and I hope I answered your question. Sorry, excuse me. And if you have any more questions, let me know. And thank you for being on here, man. Appreciate it. Um, I don't know who you are, but I appreciate you being on here, man. And if you have any more questions, or if you have any recommendations of anything that you want me to talk about, feel free to just put it in the chat right now. And where was I? I was talking about something before you asked that question. Oh yeah, I was talking about truth. Yeah, truth is fundamental in a whole lot of different things. Like, truth is like, how I look at truth is like a beach ball, and the water is your opinions, your feelings, lies, information that's not backed by no evidence. That's the water, and truth is the beach ball, and you and the person is you trying to push the truth underwater. It just don't work like that. If you ever tried to push a beach ball underwater, it never works. And that's what a lot of people try and do with natural truth, inherent truth built in creation. And this also proves that there is a God and everything like that. It's like there's just some things that we cannot deny. It's just evident. It's just what it is. And yeah, so that's how you can identify what is true and what's not. There's a whole lot of stuff. I'm not gonna get into it right now, that a lot of people believe that is not true, or that is not what it is, or that is not natural. There's a whole lot of stuff I can get into with people saying a whole lot of things that's not true at all. It's really just based off their opinions, and it's based off of their feelings. It's not backed by no inherent evidence that we can see in reality. It's just coming from the reality that they conjured up in their mind, a false reality. But anyway, yeah, bro, if you have any more questions, just let me know. But yeah, that's my spill on truth. And all I'm gonna share is truth. Um, but that was a good question though, man, about mushrooms and psychedelics and everything like that. I've been seeing a whole lot of videos on that stuff, like mushrooms and psychedelics and everything like that. I don't recommend anybody, and that's not what I'm doing on here. I'm not recommending you take mushrooms or do any of that. I used to do that stuff. Those plants, those fungi, those things can become very, very addictive, and it actually does more harm than it does good, from personal experience and what I've seen and what I've saw. Um, Also, another thing about that is you never want to take anything that alters your mind. That's why I stopped smoking weed. That's why I stopped doing pills and all this other stuff. You never, ever, 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 ever. This is why they're trying to push pills and all this other stuff on us in society, like the healthcare system, is because it alters your mind and messes with your mind. You ever heard of what is it? Uh, a placebo or something? I forgot something, but it's literally they give you a pill and they say this pill will do this, and when you take it, it works, but it really doesn't. It really was just a regular pill. But the thing that made it work was because you thought it will make you feel better. So it's just little stuff like that, man. Like it's just little stuff like that you know. I'm sorry, there's somebody. I'm getting distracted right now. There's somebody who's outside right now, and I can't open the door because I'm streaming. Um, but yeah, it's stuff like that. It's just I don't recommend that for anybody to do any type of drug that alters your mind. Don't don't do it. I don't recommend it at all because it can actually destroy brain cells. It can do a whole lot of stuff. Like me smoking weed at the age that I started smoking weed at, it was destroying brain cells. By the grace of God, I got most of my brain cells or even more brain cells back. But I just don't recommend that for anybody. Is weed worse than mushrooms? I wouldn't say weed is worse than mushrooms. I wouldn't put them on a spectrum scale like that of saying if one is good or if one is bad. Um, I'll say based on how you use them. Based on how you use them, they can be bad or good. So if you're abusing mushrooms and you're just doing mushrooms all the time, and you are just putting that and you're allowing that to just alter your mind, that's not healthy, man. Especially with weed as well. If you're just abusing, you're smoking weed every day. Like that's what I used to do. I used to smoke weed every day. And then also you're not really smoking the weed. Then you got, the black or the cigar that you roll the weed up in. And then you also have the paper weed. There's really no, those things are not mutually exclusive. There's no difference between the two. It's just all how you use it. If you abuse it, don't use it. That's my saying. Write that down. If you abuse it, don't use it. That's the saying. If you abuse it, don't use it. Do not use it. Yeah, if you do it once every 3 months, that's fine. You're not abusing it. You just don't want to do it every day and make it like a need in your life. I'll say this, that you have the power to do whatever you want, but not everything that you do is beneficial to you. That's why there were some things that God created that, you know, that we only use once a time. Like that plant I was telling you about, the duck fruit plant. That plant is only supposed to be used one time. If somebody kept ingesting that plant, you will actually die. So that's where that comes from, is that saying of like, whatever you abuse, don't use, because it can kill you. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. Well, that's not actually true, but too much of something is a bad thing. That's true. And you just don't want to ingest too much of anything. Like if you're eating pizza every week, that's a bad thing. Pizza is really not good for you at all. Like, and the result of that is you're going to get fat. Simple as that. Because what is on the pizza? Cheese. Your blood pressure is probably going to go higher because of the tomatoes, and then also the bread, and then like all these different factors factor into play. So that's my advice on that, though. Is like too much of something is a bad thing. And don't ever don't ever keep using what you abuse. Like don't abuse nothing. That's what I'm saying. Don't abuse nothing. How do you do what you're doing? Um Really, I'm just doing it, man. Like if later on, like at the beginning of the live that I did, well, at the beginning of the live, what I was saying was what being means. Being means existing state. When you be something, like human beings, what that literally is saying is the existing state. of humans. We are the existing state of humans. And then I'll go into that in another live on what human beings are. That's what I was talking about earlier was, going over, the anatomy of humans, like what we truly are and why we are so capable of doing so much. Um, but yeah, how I do what I do, man, is I just do it. I just do it. And I'm a truth seeker by design. Like I always been into truth. I always been into seeking to understand like what all of this is, like what life is. Like that's where my heart has always been and my mind has always been. And I truly believe because of that desire is the reason why I decided to change in my life and the reason why I'm here today. So that's my spill on that. I just be, dude. I just I just be. I just do it. How will more people start wanting to listen to you? Um, is really if they are digging the information. People listen to what they want to listen to. Like people listen to negative stuff. Why? Because they want to listen to negative stuff. People who want to listen to positive stuff are going to listen to positive stuff. So that's my thing. I'm gonna just keep sharing the information, keep putting it out there, and people who want to listen to it will listen to it. That's how I will get more people to listen to me. And the people that I'm really looking for is people who want to listen to this information, who want this type of information, who want to hear more of this information, because this is life-changing information. This is information and principles and truth that you can apply to your life today and see a significant change in your life. So those are my target people. I'm not here to talk to anybody who doesn't want to change their mind. I'm not here to talk to anybody who doesn't want to change their life. I'm not here to talk to anybody who isn't interested in positivity or growing or advancing as a human being. I'm not here to talk to that type of person. I'm here to talk to a person like you. You're here because you want to hear this information. So you're not about the numbers of people. You're here for the people who want to watch and learn. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly why I'm here. I'm here for that specific purpose. I'm not here for no other purpose. And people who want to live, who want to live negatively and think negatively and do negative things and don't want to change the way they should change the way their life is, even though if they realize themselves that their life isn't the best that it can be, and they just are just okay with it when they have the choice to change it, my information ain't for you because you already made your decision to live below your means instead of above them. So, have any more questions, man? What recommendations do you have, man? What's something you want me to talk about? What are some things you want me to talk about? Because I've already scheduled out like 64 lives. I already scheduled out like what I'm gonna be talking about in those lives. So I didn't finish the schedule for the year, but I want to get recommendations from y'all of what you want me to talk about, and then I can gather my information around that topic that you want me to talk about and talk about it. So yeah, if you have any recommendations, just let me know, man. But yeah, what else do I want to talk about? I went over what MindCast is. Oh, you want me to go over culture? Man, that's a good one. That's a good one. I would love to. I'll definitely do that. Let me write that. Let me put that in my notes real fast to do a live on culture, talking about culture. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. I got so much stuff to say about culture, man. So much stuff. I'll just give you a little something. Oh, religion. I'll do religion as well. That's literally the one thing that I hate is religion. I don't hate anything else except religion. Um, the true word of God. All right. See, now all right. So I'll do it, man. I got you. I'm just taking notes, man. I'm just writing it down. Man, what else do I want to go over in this intro live? I pretty much went over, what I'm gonna be talking about is really gonna be centered around mindset. The first 64 lives will be about um, my book, Word to Self. I'm a refer to my book, Word to Self, a lot in a lot of my lives, even the ones that are not in connection with my book, because my book is is so relevant when it comes to a lot of different things in life. How far does the rabbit hole go? I'm guessing you're saying how far does you know truth go? That's what I look at the rabbit hole as is a is a tunnel through truth, and each layer and tunnel you go through, or how the farther you go, is the farther more is as the far deeper you go into truth, and really there's no limit to answer your question. How far does the rabbit hole go? There's no limit at all. Are we in a blinded reality? Yes, we are. Oh man, we are. We are for sure. Um, I'll say this: like a lot of what the news and media and a lot of other influencers that are talking about a lot of different things, it's really blinding. It's really a distraction. It's blinding people from what is actually true in the world, and it's blinding people from the bottom line, what really matters. Um, so you have a lot of people who are confused. You have a lot of people who don't know who they are. You have a lot of people who don't know why they're here. You have a lot of people who are led by other people's opinions and not by facts or truth. You have people that are led by feelings, their feelings. Um, you have a lot of different factors that factor into why we are living in a blinded reality, or why a lot of people are living in a blinded reality, and it's because of the agenda that is out there, and the agenda is to destroy individuals. Is sin a real thing? Is law a real thing? And are the natural laws we should follow? Absolutely. The natural laws are God's laws. The inherent information that is built into creation that cannot be debunked, that cannot be considered as false. It's because there's too much evidence to prove that this law or this inherent principle is evident. Like you can't fight it. Like you can't go against it. And to answer your question, is sin a real thing? Yes, sin in simplest forms is anything that separates you from God, or is the thing that separates you from God. Sin is like you having a target on your back 24/7 and you not even knowing it, or you knowing that you have a target on your back. And then you're adding, it's kind of like, what's that game where it's like a target on the wall and you throw the pins at it? That's how sin is. That's how sin is. It's literally you have that target on your back, and everything that you do that separates you from God. And sin really comes from not knowing, because it says this. It says this in a book that I read called the Bible, which is not a religious book. It's actually I look at it as an instruction manual and a constitution, because that's literally what it is. And in the Bible, it says, God says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. What does that mean? And what knowledge is he talking about? It's the knowledge of sin. It's the knowledge of not knowing what gets you in connection with him and what takes you away from him. That's what that scripture is saying. Is literally saying, my people are destroyed for lack of not knowing me and not knowing what they do that separates them from me. Because we call him the father of creation, or the creator, the father. The word father means source and sustainer. So if we are his children, if we are children of God, then as children, we are supposed to mimic and do what our father does. Like, for example, for me, just a story. Like, I used to do a lot of things that my dad did, and I took upon a lot of traits that my dad had, good and negative. But it came from the inherent, just built-in nature of a son. Sons are supposed to do what their father does, and to take up and to learn from their father. So with sin, is literally saying that I'm not going to do what my father tells me to do, which is called disobedience. And I'm going to just do what I want to do. And then that's called rebellion. So that's what sin is. And it really just comes from not knowing what God wants you to do. And I can do a whole live on, the Bible and what it's really talking about, and how we are supposed to truly operate as human beings on this planet, and how we are supposed to, conduct ourselves with God. And then I hope to answer your question. And is law a real thing? Yes, law is a real thing. Humans didn't invent law. We got law from God. And that's another thing. We have to understand that there's nothing new on this planet, and there's nothing new that's going to come after this planet. Like, if you look at a lot of ancient, hieroglyphs and a lot of ancient paintings and a lot of ancient writings, you will see that a lot of the things that they had, like if there's some paintings you can look up in Egypt, it has like depictions of what looks to be like helicopters and what looks to be like hover cars and all this other stuff. It's like, there's nothing new under the sun. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard that saying before, like, there's nothing new under the sun, which pretty much saying there's nothing new that will ever be put in existence, because everything has already been put into existence. So if somebody says I have a new idea, it's really not a new idea. It's just it's just an idea that has already happened coming back again. That's literally what it is. And a thing to know, ideas are omnipresent. So that means they are in the future, they are in the present, and they are in the past. So that's why that saying says there's nothing new under the sun, is because every idea is omnipresent. Who else is omnipresent? God. Where does a lot of everything that we know come from? You can finish that. But yeah, I hope all of that answered your questions. And going back to natural laws, yes, we should follow natural law. I think that's why a lot of people are confused, and the reason why we are not operating and functioning and taking care of our planet the way that we should is because we're breaking laws. We're not breaking laws, but we're just not following the laws, and because of it, we're reaping the consequences. So, I hope that answered your questions. Just put in the chat if that answered your question. I hope it did. Hope I wasn't just blabbering and just rambling on. Hope I was making sense. Um, but yeah, I can do lives talking about all of that. I can do lives talking about all of it, and I will show y'all. I'll give y'all evidence and everything to prove what I'm talking about is real. And a lot of the things that I will share, especially when I start getting into like the spiritual side of who we are, a lot of it you're really just gonna have to meditate on and go within yourself to discover, because a lot of the information that I know is from me doing self-discovery. One thing that I will say, dealing with like the mind, I'll talk about it further, but I just want to say that we are we are different pieces of a collective consciousness. So we come from a collective we come from a collective consciousness, and each individual is has that collective consciousness in them. So we're all just that's why you hear the saying, "Oh, I had that idea too." How did how did somebody else have the same idea as me if our minds are not connected? That's what I'm talking about. We come from a collective consciousness. And that's just going back to there's nothing new under the sun. Like I didn't first have this idea of starting a podcast. Somebody already had this idea. I just had I had the same idea of I should do one too. Me writing a book isn't a new idea. Somebody else already did it. I just had the same idea. And that's that's just more evidence to prove that we are all fragments of a collective consciousness. That's why when people unify, that's why people when they come in agreement under one decision, there's you can't stop people who are unified. You can't, because then they become a body. For example, ants. I really like ants. I just don't like when they're in places that I don't want them to be, like in your house and everything like that. But ants are, if you study ants, you really understand the power of unification. You really understand the power of, if there's more than us, if there's more of us and only one of them, you really understand that saying. What I'm saying is, you really understand that saying is you're stronger in numbers. That saying is so true. And not just, just being huddled together, but you're stronger in numbers when you are unified, when you come into one mind or one way of thinking. Um, man, my throat. I hope it's better Friday when I do the live on Why You Are Necessary. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be going over a whole lot. I'm gonna be talking a whole lot about a whole lot of different things, and yeah, and I hope I make sense when I share when I answer y'all questions, and I talk about different things. Is I'm working on like trying to simplify what I say, and just get straight to the point. But it's like I'll be wanting people to get it so bad that I just be going on and on. and add stuff onto it. And I'm learning not to do that because it's just doing too much. So I'm learning how to not over explain myself when I've already explained myself, if you know what I mean. So yeah, man, we're about almost done with this live. Man, this is awesome. I'm ready to do the next one. And I thank you, Shirey. Don't know how to say your name, but I thank you, bro, for just, being on here and sharing your thoughts and asking questions, man. One thing that I want to share with y'all is questions open doors to information. And one thing in society right now that people are trying to stop people from doing is asking questions, is being skeptical about things. And one characteristic of a critical thinker is that they ask a lot of questions. And I really love when people ask questions because that's you saying that I want more information. That's why detectives and all these other people and all the like people in the CIA and all this other stuff, they ask a whole bunch of questions because they understand that inherent truth in questioning is questions open doors to information. Based on your question is based on the door of information that you want to go through and the answer that you want to get, or the answer that is behind the door for your question that you want to know. So yeah, man, ask questions. Ask questions. When I post this, put your questions in the comments. Put your thoughts or whatever you have to say about what I said. Your opinions about what I said. I just want to hear it all, y'all. I want to hear it all. Um, I'm big on conversation and not debating, not anything like that, but I like, what is that word? I like having conversation about anything. So just put your thoughts, put what you have to say. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna respond to you. I'm gonna respond to every single one of you. Um, and I'm definitely gonna write down the different other topics you would like me to talk about. I'm gonna write those bad boys down. Man, this was a good live, y'all, man. I hope that, you really enjoyed this. I hope those who watch this afterwards, I hope you enjoyed the information that I shared. I hope the information that I shared was helpful and clear and easy to understand. If not, please put it in the comments. Let me hear your feedback. Um, and let me know what I can work on and do better at. Just let me know. I just want to thank you all for being on here, for sharing your comments and your just in advance. I want to thank y'all for sharing your comments, your feedback, and the recommendations of what you would like me to talk about. But yeah, this is MindCast. This is MindCast, y'all. This is what it's all about. Again, I'm going to be truthful, transparent, real, authentic, and straightforward with y'all when it comes to the information that I'm sharing. Ain't gonna be no sugarcoating, no none of that. If I hurt your feelings, that's your feelings. Feelings come and go. But the information that is shared is what should get you to a point of realization of like, this ain't real. Like, regardless of how I feel, like I can't. I can't be mad at the truth. I can't be mad at, some real information. So it's like, so yeah, for those, who really want to listen to this information, um, this platform, this podcast is for you. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank you again. Obviously, I'm running out of things to say because we're getting to that time. Not a lot of people on here. So, but yeah, just to recap, I'm going to just do a closing. Just to recap what MindCast is. MindCast is a podcast for people to learn about the power of their mind and receive strategies, methods to change how they think and speak and perceive life to a more elevated state. That is what MindCast is. That is what I am here to do for you. And yeah, my name is Tyler Lewis again. I thank all of you for coming on here again. And I'm really excited for the next episodes. Be on the lookout. The title of the next live is going to be Why You Are Necessary. And that's the topic. That's what I will be talking about. And please stay tuned. Please share. Please like. Please subscribe. It really helps me. And yeah, I'll see y'all Friday, man. Make sure to be on at 4 p.m. I'll send a reminder. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Tyler_Lewis2K. And go ahead and follow me on that. And yeah, I'll be back on here soon, y'all. I want to thank you all again, and I hope you all have a happy new year. Man, let me talk about the new year real fast. Man, we is in the new year, y'all. And for those who watch me, I'm about empowerment, I'm about energy, I'm about giving you energy and giving you strategies. In this new year, if you really didn't hit what you wanted to hit last year, and you're really looking at this new year like, man, I got to do something different, make that decision, do something different, change it up. If you want to make a whole lot of money, make this money. Do what you have to do this year. Don't waste time this year. Make the best of the time that you have been given here on this planet in general. Make the best of the time, man, and do something different. If you were doing something all last year that really wasn't translating and benefiting for you in life, switch it up, man. So I just want to encourage y'all to do that. But again, Happy New Year, y'all. I thank you for the brother who was on. I don't know if it was a brother or a sister who was on, but who is, chatting with me on the chat. I really appreciate it. And thank y'all for your comments and everything like that. I really appreciate it. And yeah, this is your host, Tyler Lewis. This is MindCast, and I'm out of here.